Yo, what's up guys? Welcome to week 2 update for the patch 10.7 meta snapshot. I know that last week I said I might not make a video, but I got a couple people asking, and just because it's the end of the season, people want to hit the ranks that they want to hit. People want to get to diamond, gold, whatever. I figure I need to update this then, just so everyone's just on the same page of what's good or not. And I made like a couple of minor changes. So the best comp by far is Star Guardians. I think that once you hit the late game, there isn't much that beats it other than like super high roll protectors or something like that, or maybe like random 3-star 4 costs in different comps. So I really do think Star Guardians are the strongest. We'll get into them in a second. After that, it's like Mech, Cybernetics, Protector, Sniper, Rebel, Shredder, Brawler, Blaster. I moved Battlecast down to B tier. Just because I think they're just super inconsistent. So unless you really know what you're doing, if you're like a Battlecast 1 trig or like you get the perfect start for it, I'd avoid all these comps down here. Maybe Darkstar should be A tier. I'm not really too sure, or at least higher up in the B tier. I just find them a bit weird because you can't really use Darkstar items in other comps because you need like Bloodthirster for Shaco, and like they're the only comp that uses that. That's probably why I put them down there, because if you build the Bloodthirster early, you can't really transition into something else. So with that in mind, let's get into the comps. We're just going to do a quick rundown since most of you guys already know what to do. Playing Star Guardian Sorcerers, you get a Warmog's Nico, get a Guardian Angel or Bramble Vest or QSS on her. And then you just build a bunch of mana items on Syndra and Janna. You could sell Syndra to put the items on Janna later and then build a new Syndra. Hextech Gunblade's a really popular item on her. It makes it so that she never dies. But this is a typical build I see a lot. Next up, we have Mech Pilot Sorcerer. This is same build as before. QSS, Titans, Hand of Justice. I always gave you guys like a bunch of different options. You could go Dodge Mech, you could go Bramble Vest. They're all good. They're just good at different points in the game. So it depends on when you need your power spike, what items you have. You're not really in total control of all of this, but I do think that this is a pretty good, solid combination. This one probably has the best balance between damage and tankiness, whereas some of the other builds I suggest are more defensive, or some are just way too aggressive. But I think this is the most balanced one. Tier items on Victor, Morella's really good, and then just like the other units, you don't really care too much about them. Next up, Cybernetics. Not too much change here either. You go IE, Last Whisper Vayne. You could put a bunch of Giant Slayers on her too if you're facing a lot of mechs. Echo just wants any items. You can't really pick his items. You just pick up whatever you get from Carousel late game. Luckily, Echo uses pretty much every item, so it doesn't really matter. On the random Cybernetic units, Redemption, great on Fiora. Zephyr, good on like Fiora, Leona Vi. Shroud, good on any of those guys. Locket is another option that isn't included here. Then you want to put all your attack damage items on Aurelia, all the AP items on Echo, maybe some mana items on Thresh if you're in the super late game with a Thresh 2-star with a bunch of stuff to pull in on your bench. Next up, we have the Protectors. Very similar to Star Guardians. You want to get the Warmogs early, and then you transition into what's called like the Piba comp, which is a bunch of legendary units. The Piba comp typically runs like Fizz Echo instead of what you see here, but I like the Janna Xerath combo a lot, just because you could transfer the items really easily, and once you hit like the super late game, I think this is one of the best combos in the game. So that's why I like playing this version a lot more than the typical like Fizz Echo combination. Next up, we have Sniper. Sniper, it's always going to be in a weird spot. I don't think it's that strong, but it's played so often that I have to include it in A tier. And the reason why it's so weird is because there's so many expensive units in the composition, so you have to make it to level 8 really safely. Some people are allowed to do it in certain games, so that's why I'm not a huge fan of forcing this comp every game, but I do play this every once in a while. I just figured I'd include it here. A bunch of AP and tiers on Teemo, bunch of tank items on your front line. ZZ Rod's great for Nautilus, and then just random sword items for Jhin. Rebels haven't changed at all. RFC, Red Buff, Giant Slayer on Jinx. You could use any combination of like any attack damage items or blaster items on Jinx, and then you really want to make sure you get to GP, GA, and AP. That's really all you need for this. Just fast 8 for that. Shredder reroll Xayah, really good comp if you get the right items for Xayah, or on gold galaxies such as Treasure Trove. You pretty much just go for perfect item Xayah and then slam every other item just so you don't bleed out too quickly. Next up, Blaster Brawler, very similar to the Rebel build, but maybe slightly weaker. This is stronger in the mid game, but towards the late game it kind of falls off. But same idea, just a bunch of attack damage or blaster items on Jinx, GA on Gangplank, and ability power on Gangplank. Next up, we have the B tier. Blademasters, you need bow starts, so if you don't get a lot of bows, I wouldn't recommend going for this comp, or unless you get like an early Master Yi, that could be possible too. Battlecast, again, we talked about this earlier. you pretty much like need to hit level 3 Alawi, level 3 Graves, and that just doesn't always happen every game. So that's why I try not to play this comp too much unless I get a super good start for it, which is both items and a lot of Graves and Alawis in the early game. And next up we have Space Pirates. So this is like the most 1st or 8th composition. You either hit Gangplank or you don't. If you hit him, you have a good chance of winning. If you don't, you're going 8th. So it's like, that's why I don't like this comp that much. Same idea as all the other Jinx Gangplank builds. You just put a bunch of attack damage items on Jinx, maybe like a RFC on Jinx so she doesn't have to walk around. Then Guardian Angel and ability power on Gangplank, but you have that added bonus of getting a mid game with Jace and Darius, which could carry you through stage 3 and parts of stage 4 too. Vanguard Mystic, situational composition. Don't play this all the time unless you really know what you're doing, because you have to switch your comp out a lot. So you have to scout early and decide whether going for this comp is worth it or not. Last up, Darkstar. We already talked about this before. You want like Shaco carry in the mid game, or like the only time you don't go for Shaco carry is if you get access to Jhin really early. Then you could go ahead and itemize Jhin. You could do 4 Darkstar. You could do 6 Darkstar. You could add in the Darkstar spatula. You can add in Mystic here. There's a ton of options. It depends on what you hit and what your lobby is. But I like this composition a lot just because it's really flexible. But I just don't think it's that strong right now. Just to sum up again, we have the S tiers up here, A, B, and C's. You could access this all on my website, bunnymuffins.lol/meta. And you might have noticed this little bar at the top for TFT coaching. So I vetted a couple coaches that have probably done the most coaching sessions out of anyone in TFT, because these guys have been in my Discord so long coaching there. But if you want to get access to Challenger coaching, go ahead and click this button here on my website. This is reachable from any page, and it's $30 for either in-game coaching, VOD review, or a 30-minute general advice or composition guide session. And pretty much you just fill out this form, it sends me an email, then we'll go ahead and contact you on Discord and try to set up a time to do that. But yeah, if you are interested in coaching, definitely go ahead and check that out. Also, I know this page seems a little scuffed. I am working on this, so if anyone does know much about WordPress at all, go ahead and hit my DMs in Discord, because I want to make this page much more presentable. Oh yeah, I'm going to change my schedule up a little bit. So I'm going to keep streaming on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, but I'm going to try to keep most of my videos during the week. Normally I post on Sundays, but I'm going to be not posting on Sundays anymore and putting that video during like Monday through Thursday, just so we have more content throughout the week, because I know a lot of you guys already tune in for the stream on the weekends. So just a small change there in terms of like content schedule. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button so you get notified for new videos every time they get released. Then you don't have to worry about the schedule at all. Join the Discord, bunnymuffins.lol/discord. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram, all that stuff. If you like the video, also hit the like button. And apart from that, good luck on your climb this week. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to share and subscribe. And of course, smash that like button. Each like is an LP I gain before the next video.